Am I the first person on YouTube to actually service the Mammotion Luba all-wheel drive 5000? Today I'm going to be providing an update on getting my Mammotion Luba all-wheel drive 5000 actually serviced. If you haven't been following along or you haven't seen my previous video on what happened, I snapped the front axle on the left side here, or if you're looking from that angle, be the right side, but I snapped this axle when I dropped the Luba. And I did not do that on purpose. It was an accident. I've got a lot of commenters saying I should never drop the Luba. I definitely agree with that. You should never drop it. My complaint was, how do you service it when something happened? There are going to be accidents that happen, and how do I get it serviced? I was really upset because I didn't think I was going to be able to get it serviced, but I'll fill you in on all the details as we get this repaired. I'm going to get my table cleaned up, clear all this off here, and we're going to focus strictly on this section over here, and we're going to install the new part. So that's very important. I'm very happy that I was able to get a part. Mammotion reached out to me and provided me with the part. So I want to be transparent as possible with this. Their customer service went above and beyond to get this problem resolved. So I got to take this all apart and I got to disconnect everything here. Do want to start with the battery, and let's see if we can get this under here. I don't want to slip and break anything, so I'm being careful not to mess anything up. Now I want to disconnect this one, and the way I'm going to do it is to use my screwdriver and kind of break that seal, so I can pull that wire up through it, and we disconnected it. Okay. And we'll kind of clean that up here in a little bit. There's still some connections down there that we have to do, but I'm going to remove that board first. And we want to get these wires up out of our way. See a little connector back there? We'll push it in, so you can see me pushing it in back there. Push it in, pull it. And one more right there. Then we have this one. There, finally. Now we still have these two to disconnect, and then we have these big wires. I'm actually gonna wait to disconnect those until I get this top board off. And although I have those 4 screws taken out, there's a connection. I don't know if you can see that yellow piece back there, but that is connection between the board. So I want to be careful and lift up, straight up. And it comes off pretty simple. And we also got to disconnect these over here, pull this board up, and we're working on disconnecting these wires and these wires. And for these bolts here, takes a 2.5. So I don't have anything that can go down through that hole because that's too big to go down through it. So all I'm gonna do is to put the end on that. Then I'm gonna grab my pair of pliers and I'm gonna break it loose. And we have another one over on this side that will do the same way. So now I got to figure out how to get these wires off of this board. Oh yeah. So that wasn't terribly bad getting that one wire out there. I'm gonna go ahead and get the other 5 out, get that board disconnected, and then we'll take that front bracket off and get this repaired. I'm feeling like I'm gonna be able to get this serviced by me doing the work, which is pretty cool. That's what I wanted to see if it was possible. If parts are available, if they had a parts store, I would feel really comfortable with this mower. I don't mind if things break. I mean, I don't want them to break, but if they do, I just want to be able to service them. And this is a clear demonstration that this may be possible on the Luba 5000. And then we'll do our last one, and we'll just kind of pull up on the board, pull it out. Now, I'm going to try to work this loose right here, the silicone, and work this wire through here. And as it breaks loose, like that. So we got it broke loose from the wire. Now we just got to figure out a way to get this opened up a little bit more. Hopefully we could pull that through that hole. But I'm pretty sure that's going to require taking those 3 wires out first. So it opens up more space, which I almost got it through there. Sweet, right there. All right, there we go. Now that we have that broken loose, we can just take this right on out of there. That's our broken piece right here. Now we have this, so we can take apart, and I'll work my way getting those wires through that hole. And this one is a 4. They must have some Loctite on these because they do not want to remove. Be careful not to lose these little seals that are right there. Next, looks like we'll have to take this off. And that looks like it's a 6. Right there. On the other side here, I think I'm going to have to take these bolts out to lift this up so the boot doesn't continue to be fastened below it. And something to take note of is the bolts in the rear are longer than the bolt in the front. So that allowed the boot to get disconnected from the bottom. It released it. Now we'll just take this out, set it to the side, and then let's go ahead and get this boot up off of here first. It comes through there really easy. Now we have to disconnect these 4 bolts that I didn't show earlier because I had already done that in the previous video to get the wheel off. So we're just going to take these 4 bolts out right here. Then we'll take this off, and now we got to disconnect that so we can get the wire through that hole. And that one is the 1.5. Now I've come to the point in the video to where I'm actually going to install the part that broke off my Luba 5000. Oh, nice. I'm going to start by reassembling the motor to the gears of the tire, and then I'm going to run the wires through the bracket. Something that's very important when putting these back on is that we got yellow, green, blue is the order that it goes in. Yellow, green, blue. On this side, yellow, green, blue. And before I get all these wires hooked up on the side, I want to just mention that we need to seal this up because we cut that out, and that's what this sealer is for. We're gonna put this here, and we'll put some on these connectors here as well. So that way it kind of holds them into place better. I'm gonna be really careful with this. I've actually never used this before, but it looks like it's really good stuff. So I'm really happy to get to this stage of my repair. I've got the bracket repaired. I got all of this stuff put back on. I've sealed it up. It's ready to go. I just got to put the top cover on. But I do want to mention one more time that Mammotion actually did stand by their product, and I'm going to have to say that I was very surprised that they did, because this was my fault. And when they say a 2-year worry-free guarantee, they stood by it and got the parts sent out to me and actually sent the sealer with me. Didn't cost me anything. And I know that it was my fault because I accidentally dropped it and broke it, but they didn't have to replace it, and they did. So that's a big plus to their customer service that went above and beyond to send that part out to me so I can get this fixed. They actually offered to let me send this in and they would fix it for me. But being that I had already tore it apart before I even contacted them, I wanted to go ahead. It was my responsibility to get it fixed, and I want to learn how to service these things. So I just told them to send me a part and I'll take care of it. So my next step, put the cover on, get everything connected, put all the blades and the guards on, get it reconnected to the RTK, and see if we can get it mowing again. Did I just repair my Luba 5000? Am I the first person on YouTube to actually service the Mammotion Luba all-wheel drive 5000? I think I am, because I can't find anybody else that has done what I've completed here. I can't wait to get the safety key in here and see if I screwed it up or if I got it back to working. This will be really cool if I got it working, because I never thought I would be servicing a lawn robot. I've serviced my zero turn and my other mowers, but I've never serviced a lawn robot like this. It wasn't too bad, so let's see if it works. Let's get the safety key in, reconnect it to the RTK, and see if we can get it mowing once more. Luba is back in service.